The first day that I tried this, or that we tried this, it took me 2 hours. Like, I swear, 2 hours. And now it takes us 10 minutes. 10 minutes, we are in that room and she is sleeping. And it has been the best thing.
I am ready for that heartbreak. That's usually how it goes. I have done a billion mistakes before.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nia. If you are new, thank you so much for watching. And today I wanted to sit and talk to you guys about my experience when it comes to sleep training, specifically sleep training a toddler, because I know it is a lot different than trying to sleep train a newborn or a baby that is about 6 months old. I definitely wish that I would have done that at that time, but yeah, I ended up with a baby who used to sleep pretty well throughout the night. Then she started teething, and she actually developed teeth, or started to get her teeth later on than the average child. I wanted to say she probably didn't start getting teeth until she was 12 months old. And during that time is when she completely, well, I guess her sleep pattern completely was disrupted, and that's when she would get up 1, maybe 2 times in the middle of the night. And I always just thought it was solely due to, you know, her teething and her just needing a little bit more comfort. But it really started to get bad, I want to say the last month or two. I definitely can tell you that there were multiple times when she would get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, wouldn't go back down till 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I get up at 5:30 every morning to go to work. So it just became a huge toll on me. She also is very attached to me at the moment. She's just going through a phase where I am the only one who can console her. So as much as Nick wants to help out, she's just not feeling it right now. So I was the one who was always getting up and staying up with her, and it just became too much. So I did some research and I figured out 4 things that I was actually doing wrong, and I wanted to share that with you guys because I know I'm not the only one. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So the first thing that we were doing wrong is we did not really have a routine. We've never had a routine. It was more of just like what she wants to do. We would look for certain cues, but it was never like at 12 o'clock she was taking a nap. If she wasn't showing any signs of being sleepy, then, you know, she may not take a nap till 2, and that's where we really went wrong. So what we started doing is we started implementing a routine specifically at nighttime, because what would happen is I was also reading an article, and just to mention real quick, I will leave all the article links down below in the description bar as to where I got all of this kind of like research, and I tried, you know, where I tried different things. So one of the articles mentioned you need your routine to have a nice flow to it. And when I read this, I was just like, oh my God, like what was I thinking? Like, how did I not realize what I was doing was wrong? And basically what he was saying is, you know, the child should be eating around the same time every single day. Which, you know, she was for the most part. And then it's followed by some, like, I guess, like playtime. And then once she goes upstairs, you can't backtrack. So where we were going wrong is we would take her upstairs to her room to change her into pajamas and bring her back downstairs to play. And that was one of the biggest problems. So now what we do is we feed her anywhere between 6 and 7 o'clock. Then we, you know, give her a little bit of playtime depending on how long it takes her to actually eat, because that can vary sometimes. And then as soon as we go upstairs, whether we're doing bath time, we do give her a bath every other night, or we're just going upstairs and playing a little bit in her room. So we never bring her back downstairs anymore, and I think that has been such a huge help. So yeah, so we feed her anywhere between 6 and 7. Then we go upstairs, and if it's bath time, we give her a bath. And what I even started doing is bringing her little owl where she can hear her sleep machine music. So kind of just giving her different cues and triggers as to we're starting to wind down and we are going to be going to bed soon. And then if it's, you know, after a bath, then we go right into her room, change her, and we have the lights dimly lit. And that's where we sometimes sing lullabies, we read books. She loves books, and we will hang out there for a half an hour until 8:30, and that's when she goes down. So we really implemented this routine, which I think has been a huge help. The second thing I also want to mention is, or what we were doing wrong, is we weren't being consistent. So before, we would just say like, oh, Friday, it's Friday night, like she can go to sleep a little bit later, and it's like thinking that if she went to sleep later, she would sleep in later. And that is not the case when it comes to babies. Babies and toddlers are not like adults. Whereas if we go to sleep at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, like, yeah, we're gonna sleep in. And that's not how it is with kids. So we were consistent. We changed that as well. So it doesn't matter if it's a Friday, Saturday, weekday, she is going to bed at 8:30. And that has also helped as well, because she's not all over the place trying to guess, am I going to bed? Am I not going to bed? Yeah, so that was a huge help as well. And then as we were, implementing the routine and being consistent, which I was adamant about, because it didn't matter who was putting her down. We needed to have the same structure regardless of who was putting her down. Then we implemented sleep training, and I read another article where they provided about 5 different ways you can sleep train a baby, which I didn't know that there were even that many to choose from, which I will leave linked down below. So if you guys are trying to sleep train your child, check that out and see which method works best for you, because every child is different. So which method we went with was more of the faded out method, which is not holding her as long as maybe we used to, because we also got into the bad habit of rocking her to sleep every single night. And so when we would put her down in the crib, she would wake up and then she'd want to be picked back up again until we held her. She went to sleep, and then we were kind of like guessing when was the time we were going to put her down in the crib, and she stayed asleep. And that was another huge issue too. So we tried the faded out method, and basically what that, I would say we did maybe slash of faded out slash the chair method. I want to say we did a little bit of both. So we stopped holding her. Really, we kind of just went from holding her to she went to sleep to not holding her at all. So we stopped holding her. So as soon as she was done getting her bottle, we put her right in the crib. And then, so we didn't really completely fade it out, but we cut off holding her till she went to sleep. And then where we kind of hit the chair method is we didn't have a chair in the room, but we sat next to her crib, and then we really didn't engage with her at all. The only thing that we ever really said to her was sit, because she wanted to play. This was something completely new. And guys, leading to my next point, which is basically going to be patience. You have to have patience. Like, you have to understand that this child has been used to one thing for as long as they have known. And now that you're changing something up, you have to be patient with them. You can't get aggravated. It will get better. And the reason I say that is because the first day that I tried this, or that we tried this, it took me 2 hours. Like, I swear, 2 hours to put her to sleep. I did not leave that room until 10:30. And it was very frustrating. I wanted to give up. I'm like, why am I doing this? It's just so much easier to rock her to sleep and do what we've been doing. However, I knew in the long run, it was better. And I kept telling myself, the first day is going to be the worst. And that's with anything in life. So after the first day, I want to say by the third day, it was an hour. It took an hour for us to put her down. And now that we've been consistent, like this week has been the first full week that we have been literally consistent. The week before we really weren't. We were kind of still all over the place. It takes us 10 minutes. 10 minutes, we are in that room and she is sleeping. We no longer hold her. She has her bottle. We put her in the crib. She rolls right over. We might just have to rub her back for like maybe 5-10 minutes, and we are out the door. And it has been the best thing. And because of all of those things that we have been doing, she's been sleeping through the night. So she's slept through the night for the first week in months. Like, I want to at least probably say prior to her turning 12 months, and she's 17 months now. So she's been sleeping through the night consistently, and the first two nights she was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, which it's not the worst because I do get up at 5:30. And then I want to say the last two, day 3 and day 4, she got up at 6, which is a lot better because I would typically wake her up at 6:30 so that we could go, I could drop her off to my in-laws, and then I can head off to work. And last night she slept until this morning, until 7:30, and that has been the longest she's ever slept. Sorry, I had to turn my camera off for a second. She got up from her nap, but she finally slept until 7:30, and the longest she had ever slept in the past was until 8 o'clock, but she had also gotten up 2 times in the middle of the night. So like, to me, last night was a huge milestone, hence the reason I really wanted to do this video, because I know I've been talking to some of you guys like through DM on social media, and you guys are talking about like, I'm trying to sleep train my child as well, and like, it's very frustrating, and it really is. But I find that once you stay consistent, you have a routine, you are patient, like literally it is life-changing. And just for the fact that we were able to do all of this in 1 week is crazy. And that brings me to also the last point, which is going to be number 4, as to not saying what we weren't doing wrong, but like, be open to trying new things. Like, do not get stuck doing the same old thing over and over again, because as your baby grows, they're going to need different things. And you know what? Maybe in a couple months, or when she turns 2, this routine may not work for her, but we have to be open to tweaking different things, trying new things. And like, I would consider myself to be like a problem solver type of girl. Whereas if something's not working, like, I hit Google, I hit social media, I hit just the internet to find different ways. So it makes life a lot easier on everybody, because when you do not get a lot of sleep, it's hard to have patience. It's hard to be patient. It's hard to just manage as a parent or as an adult. So I know that this is something that is very important, and I want to let you guys know, like, if I can do it, you can definitely do it. So figure out what works best for you, and I promise you guys, your child will be sleeping through the night. So that was really all that I wanted to talk about, just telling you guys how I was able to get her to finally sleep through the night. Remember to check the description bar down below. That's where I'm going to have all the links to the different articles and things like that allowed me to even create our own routine. Also, if you guys would like to see a night routine now that we have some type of structure, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.